everyone. You know what? It's Self-Care Sunday. Self-Care Sunday tonight. How are you? You and you tonight. Tell me about your day. How is your Self-Care Sunday, people? Tell me all about it. I want to know. I want to know how your day was. And what is happening in your world on this Self-Care Sunday? It is. It's a great day for Self-Care Sunday. I did some taking care of you today. That is what Self-Care Sunday is all about. Disconnecting so you can recharge. Hello, Adele and Dazzle. Dazzle, it is your long-awaited treat time. Go at it. Hey, Kitty, how are you? Great to have you here. It is good to have you. How was your Sunday? What did you do to take care of you this Self-Care Sunday? That's what I want to know as we kick off week 73, 74. We're kicking it off. We're kicking it into high gear. Yes, we are. That is what we do on Self-Care Sunday. We unplug, we disconnect, we recharge. And then we can kick it into high gear to kick week 73, 74 off because it is a good week to have a good week. It is a good week to have a good week. It's International Cat Day. I did not know that on this final day of the Olympics. It's International Cat Day. Well, double treats to you, Dazzle. There you go. I give permission. How about a treat now and a treat at the end? You got to stay awake for the whole thing. Rebecca asked me to explain part of what I was talking about tonight. She's like, because I'm not listening to the whole show, because you get off on a tangent and you're not going to say what that means until the end. And she's like, I want to know. So, Dazzle, you have to tune in for the whole show. You get a treat now and a treat at the end for International Cat Day. I'm sorry, Kitty. I'm sorry you didn't have the day off. I worked this morning, too. My driver's off for a few days, and we've had so much incoming. I went in to keep on top of everything. With that, because my new driver is doing great. He's been with us just over a month now, right around a month, and had a few scheduled days off now and a few scheduled days off in September. And with the amount of incoming and outgoing we have, I just want to keep everything moving. So I don't want the movement to stop. So I went in, and I got to go in again tomorrow. So I do know what you mean. We are broadcasting tonight on both Facebook and YouTube. And so if you have any problems with Facebook, you can hop right on over to YouTube. We're over there, too. Same Neil, 2 different channels. I hope you do get your full-timer back from COVID quarantine on Monday. I hope you do, Kitty. There's been a lot of that going around. We are not done with this with COVID yet. We are not done. But we are making progress. So I am truly sorry. I mean, I know how much even one person means. I've got stores with multiple people out right now. I've got stores that I've been hearing from and working with that I know have multiple people out right now, which is makes it really, really hard. I gotta say, in general, my northern stores that I talk to have less of that, and my southern stores have more than that. You can draw whatever conclusions you want from that. Okay, you can draw whatever conclusions you want from that. But ultimately, the virus does not discriminate. It does not skip over doors. It does. It is out there. It is out there, and it's going to be out there for the foreseeable future. So that's crazy. I was looking at payroll today. Right now, we have some of our highest payroll. Right now, we have between training new people, offloading people. We've had some crazy payrolls. Um, Darn, if not records, darn near close to it. Last payroll and this next one coming up have been expensive payrolls. But this too, we shall get beyond this. We shall get beyond this. You know, we will. We will. Well, let's get started tonight with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Every night. Tonight, if you're following along in the book, we're on page 96. 96. The world changes. The ground shifts. We still make plans. We still find gifts. Good morning. There you go, people. There you go. That is what we do. Yes, it does. Training does cost money. It's an investment. I don't like writing the checks for it, but it is an investment. And really, we are seeing the rewards for it. So we are headed down the right road with that overall. And we're going to get into that some this week with what that road is like, because I am going to get back on hiring and everything else. So hang in there with me this week for that. Hang in there with me for that, because I've got it is in my programmed list for the week right here. Right here. There's a, well, you can't see that. They're right there. It's right on my program list for the week to cover it. So we're going to get right into that this week. Not tonight, but this week. Tonight I got some other stuff. I got a couple other things for you tonight. So let's start with, it is Self-Care Sunday. It is Self-Care Sunday. Why is Self-Care Sunday important? I got to remind you of this each and every week, and it's not because you don't know, but if I don't talk about it, it isn't real. If I do not talk about why Self-Care Sunday is important, it is not real. Okay, Self-Care Sunday is that day each and every week, because this is a marathon. We are kicking off week 73 and 74 tonight. Week 73, 74. And it is a marathon. So you need to take time for you. You know, each and every week we have to take time for you to recuperate, to unplug, to recharge your batteries, okay? To disconnect from everything, to ignore the phone, ignore the text, ignore the email, ignore all of it, and just focus on you being you rejuvenating you. And I know you can't always do a whole day of it, okay? Sometimes you got to cover the store. I had to cover the truck today a little bit. And that's fine. So, you know, you take a half day today, and you take a half day another day, or you work in a quarter day, and you take a quarter day 4 days a week. Just taking the time to truly disconnect, so that you can reconnect, okay, with you is so very, very important, that you recharge your batteries, because this is a marathon, not a sprint. This is, you know, this is like the Olympians are already, okay, training for the next Olympics. Okay, they're already training for Paris 2024. Okay, they're already training for that. Shanghai for the Winter Olympics. They're already training. Okay, just like an Olympian, you need time to train yourself, to take care of yourself. It is so important that you do that each and every week. So take that time to take care of you. That is what the symbol is in Self-Care Sunday. That is what the symbol is. I like this quote. A low self-image forms an invisible ceiling that stops a person from attempting to rise or progress above self-imposed limitations. It all starts up here, people. It all starts in your mind. It all starts in your mind. A low self-image forms an invisible ceiling. I can't do that. I can't reach that. I'll never get a gold medal. Yes, you will. Okay? You can do it. You can. You can be awesome. You can do more than you think you can. The mind is what stops you. Don't let the mind stop you. Do not let the mind stop you. And I have a story to tell you with that. But first, I want to set up tonight. And it is with a little bit of trivia. So this is where I get in trouble with Rebecca. So throwing an idea out there and then not coming back to it for 10 minutes. Okay. Do you know what the 996 is? 996. 996. 996. What's the 996? Think about that for a minute. Okay? Because I'm going to come back to it. The 996. 2 9s and a 6. 2 9s and a 6. Thinking. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win but think you can't, it's almost a cinch, you won't. If you think you'll lose, you've lost. For out in this world, we find success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you're outclassed, you are. You got to think high to rise. You got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win the prize. Life battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or later, the person who wins is the one who thinks he can. I'm going to give you that one more time because that's a lot to digest the way it's worded. But it's so true. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win but think you can't, it's almost a cinch, you won't. If you think you'll lose, you've lost. For out in this world, we find success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you're outclassed, you are. You got to think high to rise. You got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win the prize. Life battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, or woman for that matter, but sooner or later, to the person who wins is the one who thinks they can. There you go, people. There you go. It's all in the mind. It is all in the mind. It is all in the mind. Rose, you are on top of me tonight. You got it. The 996 is shorthand for the grueling schedule that has become the norm at many Chinese firms. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. The term originated in the technology sector around 5 years ago when the country's nascent internet companies were racing to compete with Silicon Valley. At first, workers were willing to trade their free time for overtime pay and the promise of helping China match the West. China's economy has grown into the second largest in the world. Tech behemoths like Alibaba, Huawei, and ByteDance, which owns TikTok, are household names. But recently, more tech workers are resisting the at-all-costs culture. Some in China's working class dismiss the complaints as elite griping. After all, tech workers are highly paid and educated. But the debate also offers a window into the country's economy more broadly and the expectation of its young people. The first major pushback to 996 came in 2019 as China's economic growth slowed and tech workers began questioning their work conditions. Online protests followed, but the movement faded under government censorship. This year, 996 shot back into the news after 2 workers died at a e-commerce giant, Pinduoduo. Officials promised to investigate working conditions, although it's not clear what, if anything, has come of that. Since then, some companies have taken steps to improve work-life balance. One company in July ended a policy requiring its staff to work on weekends twice a month. Twice a month, they don't have to do the 996. Another company began encouraging their workers to go home at 6 p.m. Only on Wednesdays, though. The pushback to 996 also reflects the hopes and anxieties of China's young people. Many are willing to endure the working conditions because of the competitiveness of the job market. The number of college graduates in China rose by 73% in the past decade. A stunning achievement for a country that had fewer than 3.5 million university students in 1997. As a result, more people are competing for a limited pool of white-collar jobs. But it's also clear that many are sick of the rat race. Some Gen Zers have turned to reading Mao Zedong's writings on communism to rage against capitalism exploitation. An online craze this year called on young people to ping ping or lie flat, essentially to opt out. The Chinese Communist Party sees the burnout and the threat it poses to economic growth. On one hand, it has promised to better support college graduates in their job hunt, but it has also censored discussions of the 996. So, why did I bring up the 996 tonight? Why did I bring up the 996 tonight? You're right, Kitty, the little engine that could. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. But the 996 is like what is the life of a business owner. I'd actually argue that many of you are the 997. Okay. Some of you are even the 24/7. And so here on Self-Care Sunday, as we talk about the 996 in China, I remind you of why we have Self-Care Sunday. That why you have this business. Okay. Okay. You didn't get into business. You should not work to. You should not live to work. You should work to live. Yes. Well, you don't have government-backed sanctions against you, Kitty, that will force people to work 40 hour, 12 hours a week, 6 days a week. I mean, that is government supported or encouraged, strongly encouraged. So, ultimately, you do this to build a better life, okay? To build flexibility, to build something bigger than yourself, to have a bigger impact on your community than you could as a cog in somebody else's wheel, okay? By being the wheel, okay? That allows you to have a bigger and larger voice in your community, to support your community the way you want to, and also create the work-life balance that you want to. Now, there won't always be perfect times for that. Like, Kitty has right now as she's transitioning staff. That's going to happen. As I have my drivers on vacation and I don't have another person that fills in that role. I know how to do it. I can fill in. It is not my chosen career path within the company, but for a short period of time, I can fill in for that. It is about doing these things so you can do the other things you want to do, so that you can have the self-care. It's not the continual 996. It is 996 to infinity and beyond. And that's a race I'm willing to lose, okay? Because winning for me isn't that. Winning for me isn't the 996. And I know as entrepreneurs, you never turn your mind completely off. Okay, you never turn your mind completely off. I talk all the time about how I learned a business idea from a movie, even a Disney movie. Okay, or I get something like that, and I get that. but actively working in your business 996 is not why what you signed up to do when you had your dream of opening a store. So I share that story with you to remind you, okay, why you're in this, okay, and that you didn't sign up for that. You didn't sign up for the 996. You didn't want to do the 996. So tape that number up someplace. Tape the 996 on a sheet in front of you so that you know, and put a circle around it with a slash. Say no to the 996. Say no to the 996. You can do better. You deserve better. You work harder to not have that. So understand that. Understanding what it is can help you avoid it. So understanding what the 996 is can help you stay out of it. And that's so important because I don't want you on the hamster wheel of the 996. I don't want to be on the 996. I don't want to be on the 996. Something else that actually isn't self-care, but it is important for the care of your business. If you have employees, even if the employee is your sister or cousin or nephew, doesn't matter, anybody that you hire. I do this on a regular basis, but I also do it whenever anything weird or out of sync happens. And what that is I take a look, no matter how you do your consignment payments, whether you pay them by check on demand, whether you do cash, whether you issue store credit, however you do it, okay, I encourage you to spot check your payouts, okay, or your payments to consigners with your security cameras. So all the systems, I don't care which software system you use, whether you use Liberty or Trexia or Computer Peeps or Consign Pro or Resale Global or Ricochet, any of them. I don't care which one you use, any of them. There's so many great systems out there. Whatever system you use, okay, I strongly encourage you to periodically, and I look at it probably once a month as a regular course of business, spot checking it. But I also check it whenever there's something weird going on. And so in the last week, we've had a spike in payouts, which isn't, that happens at times of the year. August is weird. The beginning of August is a weird time for it, a little bit, but it's just been a spike. So what I'm talking about is actually comparing that whenever a payout happens in your system, however the payout happens, okay, to the security footage at your register at the same time. So if you're showing store credits that you've had a lot of store credit usage this week, okay, are there people at your register when that's happening? Is the person at the register, is that customer getting a cash payout or a check on demand? Is that person really the person there on the screen? And so I do that periodically. This past week we've had a lot, and it was just unusual for the first week of August, although I have heard from a lot of people in this part of the country that a lot of people went on vacation this first week of August. So it wouldn't be unusual with a time period when people go on vacation. If people are really on vacation, I have heard that from a number of other business owners that a lot of people have been on vacation up north here this first week of August. And so that's fine. But I encourage you to do it periodically. I encourage you to I run the report monthly automatically anyways, and I take a look at it, and I just, pop around and spot check it. It's quick and easy enough. You see a payout happened at this time. You plug that into your camera system, and you see who's standing there. Or you see if they consigned that day. Did they bring you stuff? That's usually a fine reason that somebody got a payout. And people do need money, like you said, Kitty, for back to school and everything. But what I'm ultimately reminding you is just to keep an eye on it. It's a good thing to spot check, and it's a good thing for your staff to know that you spot check that. Okay, that you take a glance at it. It is not a bad thing for them to know that. Um, well, last week, okay, a retail pioneer passed away. A retail pioneer passed away. Okay, you could say this person was the pioneer of your Facebook Lives. Okay, this person who started doing this many moons ago. I'm trying to think how many moons ago. Well, he's been doing stuff since his commercial since 1964. Uh, since 1964. Okay, he's been doing it much like your Facebook Lives, with excitement and enthusiasm and great things and getting people excited. And his legacy lives on through all of you. Yes, Ron Popeil has passed away. Okay. Uh, in 1959, he actually made his first TV commercial, a 3.5-minute spot for Chopomatic. And then starting in 64, his late night infomercials became a staple of television. Call now. But wait, there's more. Ron, the Vegematic, the Mr. Microphone, the Auto Cup, the Food Dehydrator, the Egg Scrambler, the Portable Smokeless Ashtray, Mr. Dentist, the products he's standing around in this, are legendary. And even though you knew what was coming, you couldn't turn it off because you wanted to know. But wait, there's more. It slices, it dices. Mr. Microphone was the first karaoke machine. The Vegematic, like we're talking about it. The GLH-9, great looking hair formula number 9. The hair in a can spray. The Rhinestone Stud Setter, later called the Bedazzler. The Popeil Automatic Pasta Maker, and the Ronco Electric Food Dehydrator. He changed the retail industry forever, spearheading the direct-to-consumer model that bypassed the store and sold directly to shoppers. Popeil later became a regular on QVC, showcasing his Showtime rotisserie, which reportedly broke sales records for the television network. And us Americans will never forget him for his ability to sell us things that we never knew we needed. It slices, it dices, people, it dices. Did you see that? It can slice and then it can dice. Who does that? We need that. You need that. Some of you are going online to shop for it right now. Oh, a couple of quick government things for you tonight before I leave you for the night. If the government happens to call you, if you got a PPP and idle, don't panic. Don't panic, okay? Maybe call Neil, but don't panic, okay? They're auditing, like I've said, they will audit loans. They will audit this stuff. They will check on paperwork. They will check to make sure that you've really done the right thing. Yes, the government is shifting from issuing these programs to auditing them and making sure they were used properly and legitimately. That you didn't buy a boat or a land boat or an airboat or any kind of anything that I remotely can turn into a boat, a farm boat. I don't know. No boats. No boats, people. No boats. But don't panic. It's really making sure you can dot your I's and cross your T's. We will be getting back to that. And I am preparing my folder of everything that's in it, and I will have a checklist for you. We've got a couple programs before that. You guys are, most of the people that tune into me on a regular basis are low on the totem pole for the government audit, but there will be people that tune in regularly that get audited. It's just the law of averages with that. So don't freak out if you got a call from a government auditor. Also, the SBA, and I know this applies to some people, for the EIDL loan, will be lifting the limit possibly as early as this week from 500,000 to the statutory 2 million. They will be lifting that. And I have worked with a few businesses who could use that, okay, who will take advantage of that. Some larger companies. So they will be lifting it from the 500. It was capped at 150, then they raised it to 500, and now they're going to raise the EIDL loan limit to 2 million, which is the statutory limit from a normal SBA economic injury disaster loan. They had lowered it to hang on to money. Now they've got enough funding, so they're going to raise it to the statutory 2 million for businesses that will help. Again, it's a loan. It's a 30-year loan. It's a 3.75% interest rate, but it is a loan. And at 2 million, it has a personal guarantee. So know that. And I think I've talked to directly most of the people that would be eligible for the 2 million. Well, it's really up to 2 million. And loans will be EIDL loans that'll be eligible for that will be ones that are prior to April 7th of this year. EIDL loans issued prior to April 7th will be eligible for the 2 million increase. If you're one of those quiet people that would be eligible for it that I haven't talked to. There you go, people. This week we are getting back to hiring. We are getting back to hiring, which means we're going to talk about dating. We're going to talk about that this week. Yes, we are. We will get back to it. We will continue our discussion. We'll do a refresher about what we've talked about, and we'll get right back to it so that we can cover that for you this week. You know what else we cover? Everything that I talk about. Everything I talk about gets covered and copied over to nerds.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you, everything's over there. All the links, all the files, all the references, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, you can ring that bell, so that you know when a new one drops. Yes, you can, but you can also share that, nards.org/resale strong, with everybody you know in business. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. Yes, we're going to help everybody make it to the other side. If you have a question, I'm here every night in the Nards private Facebook group and streaming on YouTube. But if you have a question in between, you can just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. If you were not here at the top of the program, our good morning today is good morning. The world changes. The ground shifts. We still make plans. We still find gifts. Good morning. Our good night tonight is the world changes. The earth spins. We grieve our losses. We eke out wins. Yes, we do. Good night. There's your graphics. Nice worldly shot there as the last night of the Olympics. Last night in the Olympics. Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a closing Olympic ceremony. I don't know. We will party again. We will party in person. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8 than ish, know that you and you, but most importantly, you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. It's time for dessert.